Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 22 video. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Jacksonville Jaguars, but with the new addition of, who was it? I can't believe I almost said Travon Chase, that bust of a first-round pick. I meant to say Travon Walker and Devin Lloyd. Huge pickups. Devin Lloyd was a steal at pick 27. I'm surprised that the Packers passed up on him completely. So Devin Lloyd was a huge steal. But Travon Walker, on the other hand, he's a good player. Jaguars fans, don't come for my throat. But are you kidding me? At pick 1, whenever Aiden Hutchinson was there? Like, I understand there's maybe more potential on him, but Aiden Hutchinson was clearly the better player going into the draft. That's what I'm going to give you shit up for, is just that. I can't believe that you genuinely chose Travon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson. It amazes me, considering that Aiden Hutchinson was definitely the more pro-ready edge rusher. I would have taken so many players over Travon Walker. I would have taken Kayvon Thibodeaux, who people argued was the best player in the class. Kayvon Thibodeaux, Aiden Hutchinson. I would have honestly been fine if the Jaguars selected Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley at 1. Travon Walker at 1 is disgusting to me. I hate that. But again, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying for the value that was on the board, it was disgusting to see him at number 1. So that's just me. I know it's just me. I'm sure many Jaguars fans are going to come for my throat and try and defend Travon Walker. Aiden Hutchinson is better. I can confirm that. I don't want to hear like, oh my God, you need to look at the stats. I have looked at the stats. Aiden Hutchinson is clearly the better player. But anyways, rest of the team, you guys, I will give you credit for this, Jaguars fans. You guys had a great offseason. Christian Kirk, everyone's blowing up about. So there's a positive and a negative to Christian Kirk. The positive people don't realize is even though Christian Kirk is on a garbage, and I mean garbage contract, almost none of it is guaranteed. So if he does not perform, they can just cut him. And if he does not perform well enough to even where he doesn't think he's good enough, they can just lower and renegotiate his contract. So this is actually a good deal, except the huge negative is since he's getting paid around $21 million a year over 4 years, it set the standard and it set the bar for so many receivers so high. And that's what made Davante Adams, Tyreek Hill, and I think a couple other receivers ridiculously overpaid. And I'm glad that the Ravens, my team, aka our running team, because I do not want to pay a single receiver $30 million a year. I think that's what Tyreek Hill is getting paid right now. I think he's the highest paid receiver in the NFL yearly. And then Davante Adams has $28.3 million a year, but it's spread over a longer period of time. So it's just dumb, the contracts right now for receivers. I think at most, because think about it, you don't need one receiver. You need multiple receivers. So you can't be paying multiple amazing receivers $30 million a year and take up all of your cap room. It's just not going to happen. So the Christian Kirk deal is not that bad. If he doesn't work out, you can just cut him. If he does work out, you can maybe still renegotiate his contract. But anyways, that's the only problem I have with it. Evan Ingram was a great deal. Brennan Scherf was an amazing signing. Cam Robinson franchise tagging him to give him another year to develop, I think was a good move. Barchier, Fortner in the 3rd round was a solid pick. I'm not going to give him star dev, though. I'm just going to keep him at normal dev. Jawan Taylor isn't the worst player, but he isn't really the best either. He has youth. That's the only thing he really has going for him. Evan Ingram, again, he's just a good deal, but yes, he has hands problem. He has an issue. But for the contract they got him on, I think it was a solid pickup, and they needed tight ends so desperately. Dan Arnold wasn't really the move, especially after trading CJ Henderson, who was a first-round pick, after like only a year. So it surprised me. Anyways, Trevor Lawrence, obviously, people are saying Mac Jones is the best QB. I don't care what you say. I still would rather pick Trevor Lawrence at number 1 overall rather than Mac Jones. Congrats to you, Jaguars fans. James Robinson, Travis Etienne, maybe we'll get to see what he can do this year instead of tearing his ACL in preseason. Defensively, looking into it, defense was upgraded tremendously in the offseason. We got, I don't know how you pronounce this. I'm going to just call him I'm not even going to try. You know what? I can't. I'm just going to say our starting defensive tackle. Hamilton, though, Devon Hamilton, he's also pretty young, too. How much does he weigh? 320. He's really a defensive tackle, huh? I'm still going to kick him out to edge regardless. How much speed does he have? Does it tell me at all, please? Acceleration. Acceleration is not that bad. Injury, stamina, agility. Speed is 69. Nice. Okay. not really the best for an edge rusher. Do I move him or do I just keep him there? I'll just let him develop behind. I know I'm being indecisive right now, but defensively picking up Williams here, Darius Williams was a great deal. He is very underrated. Shaquille Griffin last year was a great decision. You got Josh Allen, Travon Walker, Devin Lloyd, Foyesade Oluokun was a 10 out of 10 signing in my opinion. Great deal on him on everything like that. James Robinson is going to be my number one all around. They also picked up Snoop Connor, I believe, in the 4th or 5th round. So if you guys do want these updated rosters and see how I got them, just check out my link in the description below. I guess Christian Kirk is going to be in the slot. I don't know if I want... Nah, Christian Kirk is definitely more of a slot player than Laviska Shenault. Yeah, Devin Lloyd is behind him. And then, I forgot this guy, Chad Muma. I don't know how to exactly pronounce it, but he seems like a solid player. Smoot here. I don't want Travon Walker to be my second string left end. Rush left end. God, no, I don't want that. Defensively, is Josh Allen a right outside linebacker? Yes, he is. So I'm going to move Travon Walker to my rush left end because I don't want Smoot starting over him. That'd be absolutely retarded to have my number 1 overall pick not starting in year 1. So my rush left end, okay, I don't know why that's there. K'Lavon Chaisson can start there. Rush right end, I guess. Travon Walker, let's move him up, and let's move him here. There we go. Travon Walker is now the starter. I got everything I like. I didn't change any of the schemes or any of the playbooks. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. It's now time to move in. It's the midseason mark. Oh, yes, here we are at the midseason mark as we are 1-5. Yeah, man, the offense is doing the best it's ever done in history. 30th in the league. Choose a draft class. Let's see what we got. Auto-generated rookies. Let's continue with that. And yeah, we're just going to rock with that. I'm not really going to deal with Bryce Young. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we got. Evan Ingram. I still want to sign because in Madden, he's young and he has star dev, and he's probably the best we're going to get. And everyone else here is just garbage to me and has no value. So it's now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, not making the playoffs. The offense had a comeback on the season. Good for them. Defense did whatever, I guess. Number 1 passing defense in the league. Good for them. Even though our safeties are straight garbage, and our rushing defense was 29th, considering how, I don't know how that makes sense, considering how our edge rushers should be top tier. 7-10, though. Titans take the division, no surprise, coming off a loss to the Colts, no surprise. Stats and awards, let's see what we got. Trevor Lawrence actually did pretty good. 24th best offense in the NFL. 7th best defense, 4,100 yards, 35 TDs, 20 interceptions is completely unacceptable. James Robinson, 14 touchdowns, 4.1 per carry, 1,200 yards. I'm going to change the offense, but keep the defense because the Jaguars' defense is 5th in the league, so I'm not going to worry about that. Christian Kirk, 1,100 yards, 7 TDs. Still not worth $21 million a year, but solid year. Everyone else was just solid, I guess. Defensively, Foyesade Oluokun, 129 tackles for a loss, 17 for Travon Walker, only 1 sack his rookie year. Josh Allen, 10.5 interceptions, 3 for Tyson Campbell. Safeties, 1 for Josh Allen. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So, yeah, I'm going to switch up this offense right now. I'm not going to switch up the scheme of the offense, and I'm not going to change it to the Kansas City's playbook. Usually, I always go Kansas City's offense, which is ridiculously good in Madden, but the problem with it is... what I've noticed is anytime I go in the Kansas City's offensive playbook, the defense just does terrible. So I don't know if that's Madden or what. So Ravens is a running playbook. Do I go Tampa Bay's? Tennessee, Minnesota, San Francisco. What do I do here? I've never really tried another offense other than Tampa Bay and Kansas City. So if my defense suddenly falls off next year, I'm going to switch out of the Tampa Bay's offense because anytime your offense is good, your defense just is terrible. That's just how it works in Madden for no reason. Anyways, let's move into the offseason. And the Panthers and Sam Darnold beats Kenny Pickett in the Super Bowl year 1. And there are no awards here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So let's look at the roster upgrades. Offensively looking into it, let's see what we have. We have absolutely nobody that has got an upgrade. That's cool, I guess. Defensively, looking into it, Josh Allen gets superstar dev. Jenkins gets star dev, but he's 28 years old, so he won't even reach a 75 overall, so that's upsetting. I don't plan on re-signing him. Probably should have started Tyson Campbell at the strong safety position. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to need some safeties in free agency. So let's move into the re-sign players here to see what we have. I might just trade or draft a safety too. Haven't done that in a while, so I guess it's convenient that the Jaguars don't have safeties to mix up my video, I guess. Thank you, Jaguars, for not successfully rebuilding your secondary. Completely off topic. AFC South, nobody retires here, so that's completely fine with me. Yeah, we are the AFC South, just making sure. Players ready to negotiate, just checking on this. Jake Luton, how much do you cost? That's dumb cheap. I'm just going to sign Jake Luton just so that way I don't have to constantly keep re-signing a quarterback over and over and over again. And it just doesn't sign random, like, Colin Kaepernicks in free agency, which, by the way, in my roster, I removed him. And, yeah, so it's now time to get into free agency with $49 million to spend. After free agency, we got J.C. Tretter on a one-year deal. I'm going to negotiate down his contract as he ages. Jason Verrett on a one-year deal. Logan Ryan on a one-year deal. Rodrigo Blankenship on... Rodrigo Blankenship. I actually said that. My bad. Rodrigo Blankenship. I don't know what's up with my language today. Anyways, 5-year deal. Stupid cheap deal for a kicker. These are all one-year deals just to hold over the team for now. Maybe I'll re-sign J.C. Tretter to another one-year deal. But let's get into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up right tackle out of TCU, Roman Wilbon. Hidden development, 6'5", 319. Only 84 strength, probably indicates he has a lower overall, but he had a really good just A-B ratio on his spreadsheet here for his core attributes. So he had to be a pick. He was a top player on the board there. So it was a pretty good pick in my opinion. And in the fourth round, I'm picking up wide receiver Brandon Johnson, 6'2", 224 out of Miami. Very slow player, but hidden dev. This is the team after the draft, as Wilbon is a 69 overall. Nice, not actually nice, not really that good of a pick for a first-round pick, but he does have hidden dev. That's so important with linemen, because linemen, they cannot upgrade nor regress their dev. It just stays the same no matter what. Stupid feature in Madden, but it is what it is. I can't really change it. There's a lot of players here overshadowing my fourth-round pick of a player. Zay Jones, do I want this guy on my team? I don't really, but I'll take a cap penalty. Jamal Agnew is my kick returner. Who is Ridley? Riley Ridley, you can be gone. Don't need you. We'll save money. Johnson, there he is. 69 overall. Nice. I'm going to have him starting over Zay Jones, too. Specialist. Chenault, I'd rather have my slot and Agnew over Zay Jones. Zay Jones isn't going to get any reps. Travon Walker's actually in his right spot this time. I mean, Josh Allen should be the rush right end, and then Walker should be the left end, but whatever. Anything else we got here? Logan Ryan being a part-time safety. Cisco McAllister, I picked this guy up in the third round. Doesn't seem to be that good, I guess. How old is Cisco? He is 22. He's going to be the starter just because he's younger. Maybe he can get a development trait over Rashawn Jenkins, who isn't going to regress any further. He isn't going to progress any further. He's just going to regress. And yeah, so anyways, guys, apart from that, we are looking pretty solid here. The D-line may need a little bit upgrading for the rush defense, but it's fine. I think we look good. I'm going to stay with the Jaguars defense. I changed it to Tampa Bay's offense. I'll change it out of Tampa Bay's offense if the defense does bad. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but usually in Madden, if the offense does really well, the defense just does terrible for no reason. Anyways, let's get to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 3-4, third in division. Okay, we have improvement here, boys. Defense is doing terrible. I know the problem. If the offense does well, the defense just tanks in the ground. That's how it works every single simulation. And it is so unbelievably frustrating. Anyways, what do we got? I'm going to go... Last time I went with New England's offense and New England's defense. It ended up to work out pretty well. Let's try... I want to try San Francisco's offense. Let's see how that works in the spread. New England's defense. Let's see if that works a little bit better for us overall. I need something to work better overall, not just straight up, because anytime the offense works good straight up, the defense just collapses. It happens in every single simulation. For those guys screaming at me in the comments, I've done over 500 simulations. I know what I'm talking about. It's happened in every one. James Robinson, I would like to give you a bigger deal because he's pretty good actually for us. J.C. Tretter, I'll give you a one-year deal. $10 million for that 1 year. I'll do that. And he wants more money. Maybe I'll give it to him. Marvin Jones, you're just old. Can't have you anymore. Jawan Taylor, already got your replacement. Dan Arnold. Everyone else here is a no. Jawan Taylor, since I have him and I already have his replacement, he has some value because of his youth. Bears always want to take some of my players. Oh, I would love to have Eddie Jackson. Oh, man. Eddie Jackson would be quite the pickup for the rest of this rebuild. Jalen Johnson, Darnell Mooney. They're not going to trade away Darnell Mooney. I mean, in Madden they would, but in real life, no. Ooh, but I could see Eddie Jackson being traded. How far will this get me? Oh, no way it's that easy. I'm going to give up a little bit more because it shouldn't be that easy. I'm going to give a 4 and a 5 to make it a little bit more fair. I could honestly just give him a 5 and they would accept it, but I was trying to make that a little bit more fair. Logan Ryan, yeah, he's going to stay a second string free safety there. Eddie Jackson on a pickup is a dumb pickup. Easy pickup there. Logan Ryan, I'm actually going to move to strong safety while I have him here. So I'm going to make use of Logan Ryan, move him over to strong safety. Maybe that will work better for this defense because obviously they're like 30th in the league right now. So that works. Huge upgrade. Johnson, I'm going to try and play in the slot. I'll try and play him in the slot over Chenault. Get him some more reps in. I would like that. Defensively, no, offensively, what else did we have? Arnold Hargrove. Oh, it looks like Zay Jones got cut from the team. I'm not objecting to that. Anyways, it's now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, 8-9. Improvement of the team overall. The offense went down, but the defense did improve. So it looks like our defensive line just needs to be improved. That's the major thing with us. So Trevor Lawrence still did solid. 14th best offense. I'll take that. Defensively looking into it, 15th. I'll take that. That's overall pretty good. 4,300 yards, 33 TDs, 15 interceptions. James Robinson, 15 TDs, 4.4 per carry, 1,300 yards. That's consistent, especially from last season. I'm going to give him a superstar dev if the CPU doesn't. 1,300 yards, 6 TDs. Marvin Jones, 11 TDs, 1,100 yards. Chenault had to split with Brandon Johnson, so he didn't really get that many reps. Devin Lloyd, 129 tackles for a loss. 17 for Travon Walker. Only 4 sacks for Travon Walker, but 12.5 for Josh Allen. Interceptions, 4 for Shaquille Griffin. Safeties is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So we're going to have to work on our defensive line for sure. That's what's holding us down. But yeah, let's get into the offseason. And the Bills and Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl MVP over the Commanders and Carson Wentz. Matt Ryan on the Buccaneers wins the Super Bowl MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. I've never seen that before. Interesting. So let's look into the team to see if there is any development upgrades. Offensively, looking into it, well, let's see what we have. James Robinson did not get his development upgrade, so I'm going to give it to him. He was consistent last season, 4.4 average this season. I think he had 17 touchdowns or 15 touchdowns this season. I already forgot, but it was like 1,300 yards as well. He had a great season. He's getting superstar dev. Others have been consistent. Johnson only has star dev, but he seems like he has potential. Wilbon only has star dev, but he's already the same development as, same overall as Jawan Taylor. I'll resign. J.C. Treader didn't regress. Yeah, I mean, his morale is down, but he didn't regress in overall, so I'll re-sign him. Defensively, looking into it, looks like there's no upgrades. Eddie Jackson regressed hard, but he went from an 89 to an 86 without the morale. I'm going to need a defensive back, too, to replace Darius Williams eventually. But, yeah, let's look into the retirements and the re-signed players here. Defensive line is a huge need for this team. Our edge rushers are doing solid. I mean, Travon Walker is still developing, but he's honestly, not doing that good. I'm honestly not impressed with him. 2022 retirements. Let's see what we got here for the AFC South. Ben Jones retires on the Titans. I guess that's helpful to us. And let's look at the players ready to negotiate here to see who we have. We had J.C. Treader, who wanted more salary and he wanted more of a bonus. So we're going to give him that $11 million for that 1 year. Marvin Jones, no. And everyone else here is a no. We're going to keep J.C. Treader. I don't think I'm going to replace Cam Robinson. I think he's fine where he's at. So I'm going to get into free agency with $40 million to spend. After free agency, we got big boy Jeffrey Simmons for that D-line, Adrian Amos as our strong safety, and Sean Murphy Bunting to replace Darius Williams when we need to. I'm going to end up cutting Logan Ryan behind Adrian Amos because he's on a bigger deal. So there's that. But yeah, in the draft, I probably want a left end, so let's get into it. And in the first round, I'm picking up defensive end Warren McCary. He was projected late first round. I picked him around pick 12, I think it was. But look at his core attributes, B, A, B, A, A. That seems overall pretty good. I'm upset that he doesn't have a development. Maybe he could be a 75 overall, but doesn't have a development. Either way, I thought it was a good pick. In the second round, I'm picking up offensive tackle Taylor Collins out of Georgia, hidden dev. And even though I did say that I'm fine with Cam Robinson, if Cam Robinson has a high contract, I will trade him. Taylor Collins, if he has a high development, well, not just a high development, a high overall, then I'll replace Cam Robinson year 1. But for now, Cam Robinson will be the starter. Here we are after the draft, as Collins is only a 69 overall. Nice. He's going to move to left tackle, but he's not going to play above Landon Collins. I can't believe I'm missing all these names. Cam Robinson. I can't believe I almost said Landon Collins, a completely different position. But yeah, he's a 70 overall at a guard, but for right now, he's going to play left tackle whenever he does develop for it. So there's that. Johnson here, Chenault. Solid team overall. Robinson, Evan Ingram. Yeah. Parker is here. Look, McCrary is a 75 overall, 74 without the boost. He was a good pick. He just didn't have a dev. Parker seems to be solid, but I don't think he'll develop in time for him to actually make an impact on this team. Sean Murphy-Bunting was a great signing in the offseason. Logan Ryan, I'm just going to have to cut. I don't want to pay a second string quite a bit of money. I'll save $1 million from you, so I'll do that. Jenkins is still here behind him. Cisco honestly isn't even a bad option. Can I cut Jenkins? Oh, I'll save $4 million from cutting him? I didn't even know he was taking up that much money. He's out of here. Kayvon Chason sucks. I'm glad I didn't pick up his 5th-year option. Offensively, this is what we got. Again, I'm cool with Cam Robinson for now. Unless he wants a big contract, then I'm not cool with him anymore. So yeah. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I would say the playbooks are solid. We just needed a defensive line. With Jeffrey Simmons there and our new first-round pick, I think we should be good. So let's move to the midseason mark. Improvement, boys. Midseason mark. 2nd in the division. We're 3-3 this time. Last year we were 3-4. 1 less loss. Tactical thinking. Breakout player. Let's see who we have. Our defensive end, Warren McCrary. And since he's only a normal dev, it shouldn't be that hard for him to get a development trade. He only needs 1 sack or 1 tackle for a loss. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we got here. Josh Allen, I would love to have you back. Huge deal for you. Let's see if you get back. And he resigns. Shaquille Griffin, I would like back for the remainder of this rebuild. Even though he is regressing, he still will have a high overall. Brandon Scherf, of course, I'd like him back. Spread that out to 5 years. Up that money, and he resigns. Christian Kirk, I got to renegotiate this contract. This stupid contract finally. Only $9 million a year instead of $21 million a year. Foasada Luakan, even though you are regressing, you still will have a high enough overall to make an impact on this team, and he resigns. JC Treader, you're only, you know what? Since you haven't been regressing so hard, I'll just finally give you a spread out deal and make it $7.8 million a year instead of $10 million. Travon Walker should not be here. I don't need you. I have Devon behind you developing anyways. Devin Lloyd shouldn't be here. Cam Robinson, I'm going to trade. Chenault, Barge. See, Devon Hamilton's a 78 overall. He's developing behind him. So Chad, Chason, I don't want. Luke, I already have your replacement, so I don't even care if I adjust his contract. Same thing with Snoop. So there's that. Chad, I'm going to adjust. And Travon Walker, I'm going to adjust. And same with Devin Lloyd, because they should have 4-year deals and not 3-year deals, because they're rookies. Their contract should be 4 years, not 3 years. And the first-round picks, Devin Lloyd and Travon Walker, both should have 5-year deals because they both get 5th-year options for being first-round picks. So I will see you guys all at the playoffs. I'll edit this off camera if I remember to actually edit it out. Here we are in the playoffs going 10-7, 2nd in the division. Texans also went 10-7. Did they make the playoffs? 7th seed, we snuck in. Texans missed the playoffs at 10-7. We're coming off a win to the Steelers that secures our spot in the playoffs here to face the 12-5 Bengals. I'm just happy we made the playoffs. Titans are 13-4. That's hard to believe. Stats and awards, let's see what we got. Trevor did not do that good. 16th best offense and 20. Okay, I'm surprised we made the playoffs. Anyways, I'm going to switch it up to Kansas City's offense and Kansas City's defense and just see how it works from there, because Kansas City seems to be great in simulation. I know they have Patrick Mahomes, whatever. 3,700 yards, 29 TDs, 12 interceptions. Not a good year. James Robinson continues to excel. 20 touchdowns. Travis Etienne with 10. 4.9 per carry, 1,500 yards, 323 carries. I'm going to make him an X factor. 20 touchdowns is not something to go unnoticed. 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards for Christian Kirk. Solid. Defensively, Foasada Luakan with 136 tackles for a loss. 16 for my starting defensive tackle. Jeffrey Simmons with 13 sacks. 7.5 for Josh Allen, 6.5 for Jeffrey Simmons. That's pitiful. 6 interceptions for Shaquille Griffin. Safeties on team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 1 for Shaquille Griffin. Now, it is time for us to lose this playoff game against the Bengals. Don't expect the team to be good, especially with our offense. But could we possibly beat them? We don't. 35-21, as expected. 19th defense in points per game. And the rest of it kind of sucked, honestly. So I'm going to rock with Kansas City's offense and Kansas City's defense. I was told Tampa 2 works good, but then that would put us in a 4-3, not a 3-4. So let's go 4-3 under. Let's try Kansas City's defense, see how that works. Come on, please put me in it. Kansas City's defense. Well, yeah, defense. And let's go to their offense, please. If we could try that. Please, anyone. Please give me the... There it is, finally. Kansas City's offense and their defense. Let's see how that works. I'm sure the offense will perform amazingly, and then the defense will just tank. So it's now time to move into the offseason. And the Raiders beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Derek Carr wins the Super Bowl MVP, something you're never going to hear in your life. And, yeah. No Jaguars awards here. Let's see what we got for the roster upgrades. I hope James Robinson is automatically an X Factor and I don't have to change it. He should be, and Robinson is not. James Robinson has been so consistent throughout the rebuild and literally just got 20 touchdowns. How? And almost had 5.0 per carry, which is ridiculous. How does he not get X Factor? The dude was a beast. He's getting the X Factor. Trevor Lawrence shouldn't even be superstar. He should be a star after that season. Really not that good. Collins is 74 overall. He's going to be the starter because I'm not re-signing Cam Robinson. Defensively looking to it, Devin Lloyd is an 81. Travon Walker is an 84. Parker's just a star dev, which is cool. Looks like the CPU cut Darius Williams because as soon as you're a certain age, they're like, nope, you have no value. I hate that. It pisses me off how the CPU just starts cutting players out of nowhere. Let's look into the re-sign players here to see who we have. I don't want the CPU to constantly just be cutting players because it just ruins a lot of things for my team. It just ruins a lot of players too. So let's see what we got here for the 2023 retirements. Let's see the AFC South. And Ryan Tannehill retires and Thomas Morstead retires. So it's now Malik Willis's time to step up on the Titans. Will that make a difference? I don't know. He's only a normal dev because he hasn't played a snap yet. Cam Robinson, no. Laviska Shenault, I do want back. He's been here for quite a while, and that's a dumb cheap deal. I might need a different receiver for free agency. Ben Barch has developed with us throughout this entire rebuild, and he's a solid player too. So let's re-sign him. Devon Hamilton, you're going to be my replacement for my other defensive tackle. And again, dumb cheap. He re-signs Keelavon Chason, bust of a first-round pick. I'm not going to re-sign Snoop. Doesn't really matter. I think he has a fifth-round pick, so I think fourth-round picks to fourth-round picks and lower only get around like 2 to 3 year deals. So I think that's realistic. So let's move into free agency and probably snag a big-time receiver. After free agency, we ended up getting a huge deal on Devontae Adams. I'm paying like $22 million a year to him almost. Huge deal. I need to get into this draft and probably try and draft a defensive back for our fourth and final year. Let's get into it. In the first round, I'm picking up Stephen Melvin out of LSU. He honestly doesn't have any really that impressive core attributes. Injuries off, so F injury doesn't matter. C awareness, B block shedding. F play rec is not good. He was the best DB on the board for pick 20. I'm not impressed though. Here we are after the draft, and this is what the team looks like going into the fourth and final year. X Factor Adams, Robinson, Shenault here, Christian Kirk, Johnson, who probably won't get that many reps. Looks like the CPU drafted this guy named Antoine Irving. Seems pretty good out of Florida. We didn't need another running back though, but whatever. Offensive line seems solid. Defensively, Holiday is here. I don't know who this guy is, but apparently the CPU drafted him. They know how to draft better than me because my first round pick isn't even in my top 5 starting list apparently. So yeah, that's unfortunate for me. Anyways, hopefully this playbook works out better for us. Our team actually looks pretty solid overall. So it's now time to move in to the playoffs because we don't need to re-sign anybody at the midseason mark. Here we are in the playoffs going 17-0. I know what playbooks I'm using from now on. Kansas City's offense and Kansas City's defense. Best offense in the league, best defense in the league. Number 1 in passing defense, points per game defense, and defensive rushing game. Number 1 in passing and offensive points per game. Number 1 in passing. Number 1 in rushing. I've never seen that. That's ridiculous. Trevor Lawrence, God, when demon time. League MVP, 17-0, best offense in the league for yards. Defensively, no surprise. Looking at it, 5,300 yards, 50 TDs, 17 receptions is unacceptable, but 73% completion percentage is great, and 312 yards a game is ridiculous. James Robinson, 15 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. He had less attempts, so that's why he didn't get many yards and touchdowns, but 5.1 average is still ridiculous either way. So he's going to have to sacrifice some rushing attempts for a team to be successful, but I'm fine with it because he still has 5.1 per carry and still a good amount of TDs. Laviska Shenault, 11 touchdowns, 1,700 yards, 110 receptions. Dumb, stupid. Evan Ingram, 111 receptions, most receptions on the team, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 12 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards. Only that's laughable for what I paid him. Christian Kirk, same deal. Where is he? Oh, wow. Brandon Johnson, 0 receptions. That's surprising for a fourth string receiver. Did we not run any 5 wide schemes? Foyesade Lucon, 98 tackles for a loss, 18 for Jeffrey Simmons, sacks, 24 for Josh Allen. That's X Factor. And no way. Where is he? Travon Walker, 0 sacks and 2 tackles for a loss. Oh, that's because Jeffrey Simmons is starting over him on the rush right end. That makes more sense, but for a number 1 overall pick, he's had 1 sack, and then I believe 2 sacks, then 4 sacks, then 0 sacks. All right, then. Unfortunate for Travon Walker, but I'm glad the team has success overall. That's what matters in this rebuild. So it's now time to see who we're going to be facing in the divisional round. I'm going to be pissed if our 17-0 season ends here. 9-8, Las Vegas Raiders. We should be able to easily win this. I'm going to be pissed if we lose. 34-31, close to losing here to face Kenny Pickett and the Steelers. What development does Kenny Pickett currently have? Is it X Factor? Is it star? Is it superstar? Let's see what it is. I wouldn't think it would be normal dev. Let's see what he got. And he is 85 overall. Normal. Wow. I was proven wrong. That is surprising. Wow. Okay. Anyways, it's now time to see if we can beat the Steelers in the conference championship, so that way the Jaguars can make their first Super Bowl. I don't think the Jaguars have ever made it to a Super Bowl, so let's get into it. Here we are against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Opening drive, they don't score, but we do, and 10-0 really quickly out the gates. Good stuff. They're making it into the red zone, put 3 points on the board, and halftime is coming along. 3-10 at halftime, 16-3 here. Didn't make a conversion there apparently, but 6-22 in the fourth quarter, 6-29, 6-36, and we humiliate the Steelers, beating them by almost 5 whole possessions, humiliating them to move on to the Super Bowl. Kenny Pickett, 0 touchdowns, 1 reception, 60 pass rating. Trevor Lawrence, 130 pass rating, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Beast game. Let's get to the Super Bowl, as this is already a successful rebuild. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 12-5 Carolina Panthers. For the love of God, if Sam Darnold is starting, I am going to throw hands immediately. This is a problem. Lamar Jackson. Okay. That makes sense. Lamar Jackson is here. Let's see what we got for the roster upgrades offensively. Trevor Lawrence better be X Factor. And he is. No surprise there. Collins is already up to an 80 overall. Shenault is a superstar dev. Evan Ingram had the most receptions on the team. 12 touchdowns and 1,250 yards. There should be no debate on whether or not he gets superstar dev. He should definitely get superstar dev, so I'm giving it to him there. And looking at it from the defensive perspective, Josh Allen just had 24 sacks in a season, and he just doesn't get superstar X Factor? Are you smoking on a different type of crack? Because I think I'm going to end up needing that if you genuinely think that he should get X Factor after 24 sacks in a season. Walker shouldn't be a 90 overall after not even putting up 5 sacks in a single season. Sean Murphy-Bunting gets superstar. Shaquille Griffin gets Shaquille Griffin gets superstar as well. Tyson Campbell is solid. McCrary doesn't get an upgrade. Team has done tremendously. I don't know what's up with the 4th season, but every year in the 4th season, my team just goes demon time and always gets the first round bye. So anyways, let's see if we can beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl, even though this is already a successful rebuild, but let's get into it. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the Carolina Panthers. Lamar Jackson, the opening drive did 3 points, then we had 10 points the next, 10-7 currently, 17-7, 2-possession lead, 3-possession lead here, 4-possession lead, 3-possession lead again, 2-possession lead, come on, don't make it come on, let's go, okay, 1-possession lead, they're making a comeback, 2 possession lead, 1 possession lead. Oh man, we did not just choke this. I have to hop in for this. I'm going to be pissed if we lose in the final moments because this choke. We're not having a 4 possession lead go out the window. And final play of the game, it is up and it is good. Chip shot for Specs, the GOAT. Rodrigo Blankenship is going to seal the deal on that Super Bowl. 41-38 as Lamar Jackson made a huge late game comeback. Amazing pass rating, did better than Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence still had 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 309 yards. Great game. And then, James Robinson, 8.0 per carry in 2 touchdowns. Ridiculous game. I think James Robinson should win the Super Bowl MVP. I don't think they're probably going to end up giving to him. But Panthers made a stupid comeback. I had to hop in and secure that final drive for us. But yeah, this is definitely a successful rebuild. Like most of my rebuilds, the team usually comes back in the 4th season. Maybe I should do 5-year rebuilds, but I think 4-year seems to be working out pretty well. Trevor Lawrence wins Super Bowl MVP. He had a great game, but I think James Robinson just did better. And we win Coach of the Year too. And Josh Allen wins Defensive Player of the Year, and he somehow doesn't get the X Factor in the Super Bowl week. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching this video. I appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments below which team you'd like me to rebuild next, as this rebuild is definitely a successful one. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.